Hello, my name is Talamer, and today I'm going to be talking about my rapid skill acquisition journey. So, the skill I had chosen was creative writing, and I chose this skill for many reasons. I think the biggest was that when I came here as a UAT student, I came into the degree of game art and animation, and ever since I was little, I had a passion for telling stories and wanting to bring stories to life, and that's why I became a game art and animation student. Finally, in this class, I had the chance to actually put those skills to use of creating stories and writing them instead of just bringing them to life visually, which was a new challenge, but I was very excited for it. Originally, I wanted to kind of build my way up to a really big story I wanted to tell and do a bunch of short stories along the way. But where I did end up was building one story through different iterations and finally completing that. When I started, I had done a few short stories I've written here and there, but I was never very confident in my writing. Um, it was it was still very new to me, even though I had a passion for it. Early on, I struggled with writing. I went through a lot of roadblocks, a lot of writer's blocks. I had to kind of make playlists for my characters, and I could play that when I was hitting these challenges, so that way I could get back into the character headspace and keep going. That definitely helped me a lot. Um, it did take a few hours each time I wanted to sit down to write a story because I'm someone that likes to just keep going and going and going when I'm writing. I don't like taking breaks. I want to get it done as fast as possible. Maybe not as fast as possible, but I want to feel complete and accomplished by the time I'm done writing that session. There was a lot of challenges I faced during my RSA. SIP was a big thing. That's a really big project here, and that definitely took up a huge chunk of my time for a lot of my classes, and it definitely took away from my RSA. I had to manage my time very wisely in order to get it done and to try and stay on top and catch up with some of my work. But I'm still very proud of both my SIP and my RSA achievements that I've made and how far I've grown in both. Something that I also noticed helped me with creative writing was alongside my RSA plan, I started to DM for a D&D campaign. And doing that, I had a module of the story that we were already going to play, but there was stuff from my players that I wanted to include of their backstories. So I got to write and create some very unique scenarios and some very unique stories that I believe my friends and I were very happy with, and that definitely helped my confidence as well. Taking not only that, but the RSA stories that I was wanting to create, getting feedback from those, or at least my first draft of the RSA one, getting feedback of all of those made me very confident and it made me very proud of the work I was doing, which definitely helped it be easier to do what I was wanting to do because I felt like my writing was actually good. I felt confident to actually do this stuff. I finally felt that passion burning inside of me. I was excited to keep writing. I wanted to make the story better and better and better, which is where I finally got. By the end, I had written my final draft of the story I've been wanting to write for such a long time now. The story focuses on the bond between two people. It is a love story. It does have a unique magic system where the magic is tied to your soul, and the soul is represented through a string. Your soul is tied to people you have bonds with, whether it be someone you're in a relationship with, someone you were friends with, your family, all these people you're tied to. They give you strength. And the more of those that you have and the more connections you have, the stronger and brighter your soul is, the happier you are. And I wanted to showcase that bond in my story of these two people fighting, trying to survive after a battle. Um, they use their souls to sense whether, like, how the other person is doing. They can sense how they're feeling, and they use that to survive the conflicts that they face. My first rendition was a much sadder version of this, and it ended on a sadder tone. Um, People were very happy with the characters, so they didn't want to see anything bad happen to them. So my second rendition left on a happier note which I think was overall better for my story, and it complemented the characters very well. One of the strategies I used a lot during this TCH 115 class was creativity. There was a big aspect in not only creating this world and these characters, but overcoming the challenges I faced. Um, Something I discovered about how I learn, especially when it comes to this, is trial and error. I am somebody that likes to throw everything at the wall, find what sticks, and whatever doesn't stick. Um, that's how I learn. I learn very hands on. I have to be doing the activity in order to figure out what works for me. Now that my final draft of my story is done for my RSA for creative writing, um, I feel like I can now go on and do so much more with not only this story and expand on it, but I have that confidence to keep writing. I have that passion. I feel very happy with my work. I feel proud of it that I can continue on bringing stories to life how I've always wanted to do since I was little. Um, my biggest takeaway so far is just how far I've come from starting to write, struggling with it, to being very happy with what I've done. Thank you all for joining me on my journey. I hope you all had just as much fun as I did, and I hope you have a great day.